We've all been sold a romantic fantasy, the one where grand gestures, expensive gifts, and whispered promises are the ultimate currency of true love. We're conditioned to believe that love is about a frantic, passionate touch, the kind that dominates a scene in a Hollywood movie, all flash and no substance. Society, with its endless parade of romantic tropes, teaches us that the proof of affection lies in the obvious and the ostentatious. But what if that's a beautiful, yet ultimately hollow deception? What if true love, the kind that whispers to the soul, operates on a completely different frequency, one that most people are completely blind to? The real signs aren't what you see on a screen. They are felt in the quiet, sacred moments, in the places he touches that have nothing to do with desire and everything to do with reverence. The popular narrative of love often reduces it to a physical event, a checklist of passionate encounters and fleeting moments of intimacy. But this perspective overlooks the profound, almost spiritual connection that defines a truly deep and abiding bond. A man who loves you from his core doesn't just see a body. He sees a temple, a sacred space that holds your essence, your memories, and your spirit. His touch isn't an act of taking, but an offering of respect, a silent communication that transcends the physical. This is where we break away from the noise and superficiality, where we begin to understand that the true language of love is not shouted in the heat of a moment, but is softly spoken in the gentle, almost invisible movements of his hand. So let's discard the cinematic cliches and the romanticized ideals. Let's stop looking for love in the grand gestures and start paying attention to the subtler, more profound truths. What if the most powerful declarations of love are not said with words, but are inscribed in the places he holds, in the ways he cherishes the very architecture of your being? This isn't a guide to physical desire. It's an invitation to a deeper understanding of human connection. It's a journey into the places where the soul touches the body, a revelation that will change how you perceive love forever. Prepare to see love not as an external validation, but as an internal, luminous reality. The true nature of love, as explored by thinkers like Carl Jung, resides in a deeper archetypal realm, far from the fleeting passions of ego and desire. Jung would argue that real love is an act of individuation, where a man sees not just your persona, the social mask you wear, but your true self, your anima, your inner essence. It's a recognition of the entirety of your being, including your light and your shadow. His touch becomes a form of acknowledgement, a silent affirmation of your wholeness. It is in this context that certain touches cease to be about physical attraction and become about soul-to-soul communication, an unspoken dialogue that grounds the relationship in a sacred, timeless space. This is the essence of what Jung referred to as the conjunctio, or the sacred marriage, the union of opposites. In this profound connection, the masculine energy meets the feminine energy not to conquer or possess, but to integrate and honor. The touch, therefore, is not an act of possession, but an act of communion. It's a recognition of the other as a sovereign being, a universe unto themselves. When a man's touch is driven by this deep, unconscious reverence, it is entirely different from the superficiality of physical desire. It's the difference between seeing a beautiful painting and understanding the soul of the artist who created it. This isn't about being touched. It's about being seen, deeply and truly. Think of it as the creation of a sacred cocoon. A relationship built on this foundation is a protective sanctuary where both individuals can undergo their own processes of becoming. When he touches you with this kind of reverence, he is not seeking to alter you or to mold you to his desires. He is simply holding space for you to exist, fully and authentically. The touches we will discuss are a testament to this profound respect. They are the silent language of a man who understands that his role is not to complete you, but to hold the space where you can complete yourself. This is the truth behind the saying, "She doesn't need a man to be whole. She needs a man who can hold her while she becomes whole." Embracing this new perspective on love can feel profoundly unsettling, especially when we are so ingrained in a world that values grandiosity over quiet intimacy. The transition from a mindset of validation to one of self-possession is a challenging one, and you might find yourself feeling misunderstood or even alienated. You might look at other relationships, filled with what seems like conventional displays of passion, and question whether your own quiet connection is truly enough. This is a moment of doubt, a time when your shadow, in Jungian terms, whispers anxieties and insecurities, trying to pull you back into the comfort of what is familiar and socially accepted. It's a feeling of being an outsider, of not quite belonging to the romantic narrative everyone else seems to be following. This is the emotional weight of your individuation process. To truly understand a love of this depth, you must first come to terms with your own inner landscape, with the parts of you that have been conditioned to seek external validation. The anguish you might feel is not a sign that something is wrong with your relationship, but rather a sign that you are on the precipice of a profound transformation. This is the internal struggle of moving from an ego-driven love to a soul-driven one. It's the discomfort of the caterpillar before it becomes the butterfly, a necessary and often painful period of shedding old skin and embracing a new, more authentic form. It is crucial to remember that you are not alone in this journey. The path to real love, the kind that touches the soul, is not a well-trodden one. Many have walked this path before, experiencing the same moments of doubt and uncertainty. The very fact that you are drawn to this new perspective means you are ready for a deeper truth. Your discomfort is simply the friction of a beautiful internal awakening. Honor this feeling, for it is a sign that you are on the right track. This is not about finding someone to complete you, but about finding someone who can witness you becoming complete on your own terms. Share this journey with others who are also seeking a deeper truth. A simple like or a comment can help build a community of souls who understand. Now we arrive at the very core of our exploration, moving from the conceptual to the tangible, from the philosophical to the deeply personal. We will now reveal the 8 places on a woman's body that a man touches only when his affection is rooted in a profound, soulful connection. These are not the well-known points of physical desire, but are, in fact, sacred grounds of unspoken communication. These touches are a silent, intimate language that transcends words and speaks directly to her essence, revealing a love that is not fleeting or superficial, but is woven into the very fabric of his being. This is a love that sees her not as an object of desire, but as a complete and whole person, a universe unto herself. Each of these touches is an act of deep reverence, a way of honoring the journey, the struggles, and the spirit of the woman he holds dear. The first 3 places are a testament to his respect for her spiritual and intellectual self, as well as his protective instinct. The crown of the head is the first point, a place of immense spiritual significance in many cultures, often associated with a person's connection to the divine or their highest consciousness. A man who truly loves her might gently rest his hand on her crown, a gesture that is not about possession, but about a silent blessing, a quiet acknowledgement of her spirit and her connection to something greater. This touch is a deep, non-verbal prayer for her well-being, an honoring of her thoughts, her wisdom, and her innate power. It is a touch that says, "I see your light, and I cherish it above all." Next, we have the small of the back, a touch that is both supportive and protective. This is not the touch of a man trying to steer or control her, but rather the gentle, guiding hand of a partner who is a reliable anchor in her life. This gesture is a silent promise of support and security, a subtle reassurance that he is there to stand beside her, ready to support her as she navigates her own path. It's an unspoken understanding that he respects her autonomy while offering his strength. Finally, the touch on the shoulder blade is one that speaks of deep empathy and shared burdens. The shoulder is where we literally carry our responsibilities and our emotional weight. When a man gently places his hand on her shoulder blade, he is silently acknowledging her resilience, her struggles, and the weight she carries. It is a tender and empathetic gesture that says, "I see your strength, I see your efforts, and I am here with you, sharing the weight." Moving inward, the next 3 places reveal an even more profound intimacy, one that is emotional and intellectual, rather than purely physical. The touch on the area around the heart is perhaps the most significant in this group. This isn't a touch on the breast, which is often associated with physical intimacy, but a gentle placement of a hand on the chest, near the heart. This action signifies a deep desire to be close to her emotional core, a vulnerable and sacred space. It is a profound act of emotional trust, a silent way of communicating. My heart is open to you, and I wish to be close to yours. This touch is a testament to a man's willingness to connect on an emotional level, to be present with her feelings and her vulnerabilities, and to offer her a sense of safety and acceptance. It is a silent invitation to a shared emotional landscape, a sanctuary for both their hearts. The touch on the temple is another powerful and overlooked gesture of deep affection. The temples are located on either side of the head, a place intimately connected with our consciousness, our thoughts, and our intellect. When a man gently touches her temple, he is honoring her mind, her worries, and her wisdom. This touch is a sign of his deep respect for her intellect and her consciousness. It's a way of saying, I see your thoughts, and I respect the beautiful and complex universe that exists within your mind. It is a touch that goes beyond the physical and connects directly with her intellectual and conscious self, affirming that he values her for her inner world as much as her outer form. This is a rare and precious gesture, revealing a love that is built on a foundation of mutual respect and intellectual admiration. Lastly, the subtle stroke of the palm of the hand speaks volumes about a man's commitment to her journey. The palm, in many traditions, is where our lifelines and our destiny are said to be written. A touch on her palm is not just holding hands, but a symbolic gesture of entering into her story, a promise to be a part of her life's narrative. It is a commitment to the journey, with all its twists and turns, its triumphs, and its challenges. This is a man who is not just in love with the present moment, but is committed to her past and her future. This touch is a silent vow to walk with her, to support her, and to be present with her through all the chapters of her life. It shows that his love is not a fleeting passion, but a dedicated presence in her life's unfolding. The final two places we will explore are perhaps the most telling, as they reveal a love that is both protective and reverent, a love that sees a woman not just as a partner, but as a sovereign being whose every part is worthy of profound care. These touches are acts of service and quiet intimacy, revealing a love that is not about grand gestures, but about the deeply personal and often hidden acts of care. The seventh place is the sole of the foot, a part of the body that carries us through life but is often neglected. A man who truly loves a woman might gently touch or massage the sole of her foot without any erotic intent. This is a gesture of profound humility and care. The feet bear the burden of our entire existence, literally carrying us through our daily challenges. This touch is a testament to his desire to ease her burdens and to honor the very ground she walks upon. It's a silent act of service, a way of saying, I see how hard you work, how much you carry, and I am here to help you rest and find solace. It shows a love that is not just about the beautiful parts of her, but about the tired, the worn, and the unseen parts as well. Finally, the most intimate and gentle of all is a soft, lingering touch on the hairline behind the ear. This is an area of immense sensitivity and vulnerability, a part of the head that is often hidden by hair or is not typically touched in public. A gentle caress in this specific spot is a deeply personal and nurturing gesture. It is a touch that whispers of quiet intimacy and profound protection, a sign that he wants to be close to her in a way that is safe, gentle, and utterly cherished. This touch is a testament to a man's comfort with vulnerability, both his own and hers. It's a silent declaration that he cherishes the most sensitive and subtle parts of her, seeing her not just as a whole, but as a collection of beautiful, vulnerable parts, all worthy of his reverence. This final touch encapsulates the entire theme. It's a love that is quiet, profound, and utterly real. The journey to understanding this deeper love is not about finding someone who gives you external validation, but about finding a love that helps you find your own. The real transformation happens when you stop seeking grand gestures from others and start cultivating your own inner world. This is where you become a woman who is not just loved, but is deeply and unapologetically in love with herself. The love of a man, when it is real, serves as a mirror, reflecting the power and beauty you already possess. This isn't a process of being completed by another, but of becoming a person so whole and self-possessed that you are an entire universe on your own. This is a powerful and potentially dangerous place to be. Dangerous not in a harmful way, but in a way that challenges the conventional order. A woman who is whole and self-possessed no longer seeks external validation. She is driven by her own inner compass. She becomes a force of nature, a lighthouse that draws people in with her own light. This is the true meaning of empowerment. You are no longer waiting for someone to give you permission to shine. You are already a beacon. The man who truly loves you will not try to dim your light. He will stand beside you and admire its brilliance, knowing that your radiance is a reflection of your own inner work. So, let go of the need for public displays of affection or the desire for grand cinematic romance. The most important love story you will ever have is the one with yourself. A true and honest connection with another is simply a beautiful chapter in that larger, more epic narrative. When you embody this truth, you become a woman who is not just loved, but is a source of love itself. This is the ultimate transformation, the ultimate reward of a life lived authentically. So, I encourage you to subscribe for more insights and help us build a community of people who are also seeking a deeper, more meaningful existence. Have you ever felt a touch like the ones we've discussed? A touch that felt more like a recognition than a possession? What place on your body speaks to you in this way? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below, and let's start a dialogue about what true love really means. Your story has the power to inspire others and help them see their own worth. Remember, love isn't about being found. It's about being discovered from the inside out. Don't be afraid to question the popular narrative and seek a love that nourishes your soul, not just your ego. You deserve a connection that sees you for all that you are, your light, your shadow, and every beautiful facet in between. And to those of you who are on this journey, who are questioning, who are seeking a deeper truth, please know this: you are not alone. You are not lost. You are simply awakening.